Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Hey, this is Ahman Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leader in Russia. Bill, the Packer fan and Packer owner, Nick. They run a website for Packer news and updates, and I know Packer news hasn't been so great lately because we got some players that are not Packers anymore that you loved at one time, but you might hate a little bit right now.
Two great running backs. We have a competent offensive line.
He's saying that he felt in November and December that they didn't want him back.
Get a little safety in that position. Either we go.
There's no reason to believe we can't return, but.
And they already came out, there's a couple guys that came out and said that Rodgers is telling what
solution of it, and don't let them go for anything under than one.
And you know what, Packer fans? The Bears still suck. So go Pack Go, and good luck to Bill and Nick, their website, and their Packer news. Talk to you later.
It's a lot easier to come in and keep doing mop-up duty, but he threw the ball all, but he kind of looked like Aaron Rodgers the way he was throwing the ball sidearm and just flicking the ribs and the ball was just jumping out of his hands.
Agreed. Hey everybody, this is Gerhard de Beer, former Green Bay Packer offensive lineman, and you're watching Frozen Tundra Network with Bill the Packer fan and Packer.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Frozen Tundra Network, and we, of course, got a lot of Jordan Love contract news again. I know it's been all over everywhere, but funny enough, the Lions fans, the Bears fans, and the Vikings fans are all obsessed more than the Packers fans are about this contract. Now, let's go ahead and dive into it. We won't give it a full show like the morning show does, but we will start talking about it a little bit. First off, if you're going to compare Jared Goff's contract to Jordan Love's, let's get this straight. It's not comparable. Jared Goff, people were saying, well, Jared Goff has playoff experience. Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl. Jared Goff went to the NFC Championship at 20 years old with the Lions. That's great, but he also only has 2 touchdowns thrown in both NFC Championship games and the Super Bowl combined. So you're going to pay top dollar for that as opposed to, let's get this straight, Jordan Love's potential, keyword, potential, just like when Patrick Mahomes, and look, I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes, but Patrick Mahomes, his first year was phenomenal, right? They went out and they immediately were ready to sign him to an enormous contract because of that same potential that they saw in him. Now, let me ask you, should CJ Stroud not get a big contract because Jared Goff got to the NFC Championship game and, CJ Stroud didn't? Is that how we're going with this? I'll go ahead and start with Rob. You have a lot to say about this specific subject. Go for it, man.
Bro, I love how the Packers do how we handle our quarterback. I mean, bro, we groomed him up. He's brought in. He's shown that he can do it. We got pregame. We got preseason tape on him. We got a whole season of regular tape on him, and we even got postseason tape on him. Everything says he's projecting going up. So this is where you have to make a decision. Take the risk. I mean, if we wait and let him play out the season, do you know what? That he'll and he balls out, we could be paying 60, 65 million. 50 million's a deal. If we get him anywhere in there, it doesn't really matter what the number is. If there's one other team that's willing to pay that money for him, then we need to pony up. Otherwise, he ain't going to be
the thing. If we don't pay him, if we don't give him a contract, someone definitely will. And look, the Bears drafted Caleb Williams, but let's say in an alternate universe, they didn't draft Caleb Williams. The second that Jordan Love was not re-signed and a free agent, I'll bet you anything in this world that the Bears would be the first one at the podium going, hey, we want Jordan Love immediately. We'll give you the world.
About it, we can franchise tag him 2 times. So actually, Packers got the leverage and everything.
And we can, but let's be honest, that's definitely
not going to happen. This deal's going to get done. This thing is just, it's a weight game. What it is who has money up front, how much this and that. They're just picking things apart right now. It's gonna get done. It's just getting fucking. They're just doing the nitty gritty shit right now in the contract.
And let's look at the flip side of this. If we don't pay Jordan Love, everybody in the North can be like, "Oh, you didn't pay Jordan Love,"
right?
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No matter what we do, we can't do anything right.
Can't win either way. That's right.
So look, let's talk about this whole terrible narrative that, well, he's won playoff games. He's been to the Super Bowl. Okay. So why aren't you releasing Jared Goff right now and going and signing Joe Flacco to $100 million, $200 million, $300 million? I'm just curious about that because Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl, won Super Bowl MVP. He's won a bunch of playoff games. He's one of the highest playoff winners right now in the whole NFL currently. So why aren't you going out of your way to go get that guy then? I'm just if that's the narrative that we're going with.
See what I think. What it is. I've been hearing through Lions camp that Hooker hasn't been looking good at all at camp. So they must have seen something and say, hey, maybe we better keep up with Goff for a while because it doesn't look like Hooker's going to be it.
And that may be so. They're going to have to draft another quarterback soon, though, because, I mean, Lions fans are saying on another show, if I'm not mistaken, that there's a 2-year window, right, Ken?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's by way their money breaks down for Goff's contract. In the first year, it's like only $27 million, and then it counts like $24 million or something the second year, and then it goes to $69 in the third year.
Yeah, it explodes.
It goes, and then it's like 55, and then back to 62 or something for the final season. And I was like, holy shit, all the money's on the back end. So it's definitely a 2-year plan.
Yeah.
Hello there, Yoli.
So, Isaac, what do you think about all this craziness? I mean, you already said, like, if we don't sign him, someone else will, right? So,
yeah, look, we saw what it is. If you go by last year by DVOA, our offense went to 6 in the whole NFL. Actually, DVOA for defensive, OVOA for offensive. We were 6 in offense and 5th in defense. If you go by those numbers, there's all signs indicated that you should sign Love and get him to the big contract. He's been groomed by Green Bay. Green Bay sees things that we don't see as fans. You know what I mean? Even Green Bay fans. We don't see what they've been grooming backstage, what they've been grooming back, under the tarp, plays we don't see. They've done enough to make Love is the guy. And they're convinced, no matter what us fans think about him, whether we love him, hate him, in the median, whatever. They know who he is. Both parties are not in a rush to make this deal happen.
No.
Love said he's willing to wait. They've talked to his agency, not like everybody's saying, oh, he won't play this year, blah, blah, blah. All he said during this interview is, we will see.
I love that you brought that up because he's literally at every voluntary OTA right now. He doesn't even have to be there if he doesn't want to, but he's not going to play because of this contract. No, the whole team. There was only one guy that wasn't there, and it was because of him, right?
It was because that guy had a family emergency.
There was a reason why he wasn't there, like a good reason. Everybody showed up except for the one emergency that happened. They're all clearly invested in this team in this future. So I'm pretty sure Jordan Love's sitting there working with his team going, we'll get it done when we get it done, man.
And that guy was an unrestricted free agent, too. So it's not like he was a draft pick or anything like that. He's an unrestricted free agent.
And it reminds me, I'll get to you, A-Dub, right after I say this. You'll go next. It reminds me of this thing that I saw, this quote of Dak Prescott saying, the money doesn't even matter to me. That's never mattered to me. And I'm sitting there being like, then why do you take the biggest contracts that ever exist? And there's always controversy around your money, stipulations around your contract every single time you're getting near the end of it. With Jordan Love, never once have I seen anything swirling around this guy where it's like, I need my money, man. I need my contract. You know what I mean? I'm worth it. He's not doing that. I think they're just both trying to find a happy median, as has already been said. Go ahead, A-Dub.
And about that part about almost everybody attending OTAs, you could say it's a testament to where you could say the team is more brought in than years past. Like, everybody is very invested in a belief that this team can accomplish more than it did last season. We were close. Like, we let somebody, like Keyshawn Nixon said, we actually let somebody off the hook, and we're not trying to do that again.
Yeah,
exactly.
100%.
So, here's a Bears fan, and I'm glad that he said something moronic per usual, but I want to get to something where the Bears fans have been making all these posts they'll start making these fake posts that don't exist about how the Bears are the 3rd ranked offense in the NFL. Caleb Williams is the 5th ranked quarterback in the NFL. Hasn't even played one down yet. Neither has their receiver that they just drafted. I mean, they have DJ Moore and he's great, but Keenan Allen is hurt every Sunday of the fucking week. You guys are going way beyond stupid at this point. Overblown. It's like Ken was saying.
They say they got a top 5
started.
Receiving trio out there.
Yeah. Ken was saying before the show started how basically the overhype it has a lot to do with history, right? And a lot of guys like to be like, well, that's in the past. History doesn't matter. History does matter. We make these assumptions based on the long history of the Bears failing with every single quarterback that they've ever had in existence. You can go ahead and say Sid Luckman, who was not the best quarterback, not even close at his time. You can say Jim McMahon, who was below average. He was mediocre at best.
He was 20th ranked quarterback when they won the Super Bowl. 20th ranked quarterback.
There was a game.
All he had to do was hand the ball to Walter. That was basically his job, bro. Fuck.
Well, and let the defense win the game for him, right?
Yes, that's it. But on offense, he only had to throw. He threw to Willie Gault, who outran everybody. He just threw it up. Willie ran under it, or hand the ball to Walter. That was all he did. He didn't have nothing else.
Let me put Jim McMahon in a nutshell right here. 4 for 7, 39 yards. 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and the Bears won against Green Bay 9-7. That's Jim McMahon in a nutshell right there.
Yeah. Killer numbers.
Best quarterback ever was Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
And that's the problem for you guys.
Who was already a Pro Bowl quarterback before they even got him.
Yeah.
Let's put this in another. Let's put another example out there. 10 for 18, 114 yards. 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The Bears beat Green Bay 24-6. So I don't want to hear about Jim McMahon ever again. The second he touched down in Green Bay, he knew he wasn't going to take a snap. So,
bro, you talk to some of the Bear fans, the best thing they can say about he did the biggest prank ever and wore his Bears sweater to the White House when he went with the Packers. That's all you got, bro.
That's fine.
I know. I'm like, all right, bro.
Here's all I'm hearing from Bears fans. Oh, you guys won a Super Bowl. Okay, you got us. Ouch. You know what I mean?
But don't you know only 2 Super Bowls in 30 years is something to cry about? Come on. You guys would be going nuts if you won 2 Super Bowls in 30 years.
Yeah.
Could you imagine
the Bears still suck?
Could you imagine if Jordan Love played last year for the Bears and did what he did? He would already have a Hall of Fame jacket. He would already have a Hall of Fame jacket.
Yeah.
Now, can anybody answer this question for me? What is the most overused, least witty, and dumbest thing that anybody can ever say? The most regurgitated, recycled, stupid thing anybody could possibly say in the group?
Rent free.
Ding, Ken's got it, and shocker. I am shocked.
Almost on fucking
Holy cow, man. Hey, man. Rent free, bro. You that's where you live in rent free in the basement. That's where you've been for years.
And that's Mr. I Know Football right there.
Yeah, that's who that is. You know who that is. Yeah.
He's the Bears version of Nathan Castro. Which, by the way, Nathan Castro tried to give me some solid burn the other day, and he said Nick Green. He made a post that said Nick Green is living rent free in my head, and I went, okay, I guess I'm in your head. Like, what is up?
He was trying to finally admit that he has fantasies of you.
Yeah.
All things football from a lady's perspective. I really like that. That's a cool name. The Bears got all their championships before the Super Bowl.
I think she's a Panthers fan.
Yep.
A Panthers fan? As a Panthers fan, I'll send out the link if you want to join us right now. Jump on. I actually love when women come on and give us their perspective because it's radically different usually than how I think per se.
Hey, this is the only props I'll give the Bears. side.
Bears still
They
suck.
caused Goff in 2 games to have 6 turnovers.
Oh yeah, they absolutely dog walked the
All
line.
right, but is that more the Bears doing it or Goff just sucking ass?
Maybe
both.
I sent
A
it.
little of both.
I sent it to you in
That'll-
wherever it is that you're commenting from. I sent it in there. If you didn't get it, let me know. I'll try to DM you. Speaking of which, Isaac, go ahead and say what you just said again.
I said in 2 games, this last season, we're judging by
That's
last
right.
season.
That's right.
Goff played the Bears. He coughed up the ball 6 times.
So I had a Bears fan, or not a Bears fan, a Lions fan, trying to tell me that Jared Goff didn't choke in the Niners playoff game, right? So, as John Dorn was on that post also, as John Dorn was already explaining to him, 27 unanswered points in the second half.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
scored 0 times in the second half, 0
shut them
times until the game was over and it didn't matter anymore at the very end. How is that not choking? Well, Gibbs fumbled the ball that one time. What happened to the other possessions then?
Yeah. I think he only got, 30-some yards only that game?
Oh, I even
Well-
got something even more gold.
One.
A Lions fan tried to tell me Gibbs fumbled himself. It wasn't a forced fumble. What?
Oh my!
Well,
Yeah, you're right. The Lions just
Hey.
went out there and they're like, "Hey, Gibbs, fumble on this play, all right?"
Yeah, go ahead. and
What?
fumble. Go ahead, dude.
You know what? One of the expressions about that game you can also have is that Josh Reynolds became Kadarius Toney, dropping balls out there in that second half too.
Yeah. Well, we go for that in 4th down. I mean, that's what's going to happen,
Yeah.
Should have punted.
The gambler.
What happens?
Danny
Yep.
Gamble.
Oh, hey,
There
what's
we
up?
go.
So this is
Hi,
Sonia.
guys.
See, that's
Right,
what happens
Sonia?
when you
How you
gamble like
doing?
that.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you guys for bringing me on. I just
Yeah,
wrapped up my show, Prim and Proper Sports, like on the same network right before you guys came on. So.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. So are you a Panthers fan? Is that true?
I am.
I'm
I
sorry.
actually founded the all-female fan club for the Panthers, the Carolina Pantherettes. We have like 12,000 ladies worldwide and growing.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Nice.
Before we get into it, go ahead and plug your show.
So my show is Prim and Proper Sports. It's also all things football from a lady's perspective. Facebook wouldn't let me change it to, they're doing the most these days. So I couldn't change it to Prim and Proper Sports. But hey, Yoli, what's up, girl? So she supports me. It's on YouTube. It's on Roku, on Northeast Streaming Sports as well. And I'm also with you guys on the Huddle Stream Network on Fire TV and all that good stuff. Shout out to Bill, the Packer fan, and Mike, the Bears fan. So I appreciate y'all.
Awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of Bill, where the fuck are you, bro? Anyways, so as a Panthers fan, I know you got Bryce Young, but he's probably aging you. I assume you don't feel young when you watch him play football.
Guys, after, I don't remember, maybe the 8th loss in a row or something like that. I think we might have had a split. We only had 2 wins. I think we had maybe 8 straight losses, then a win, then 8 straight losses. Then I don't know how it felt, but I stopped watching it. Thank you, Matt. It was just basically like, I don't know what to think, but it really was aging me. But honestly, I feel like Bryce Young is not the complete problem. He went into a bad situation. He already basically, to be honest, lacks the physical stature of a lot of quarterbacks anyway. So when you put that into a bad program, you are literally having a recipe for disaster. Like, you cannot expect him to be a winner. A lot of people always ask me if CJ Stroud had came, to the Panthers as opposed to Bryce and vice versa, because, they were predicting Stroud to come. How much more different do we think it would have been? Maybe about 3 or 4 more games. We probably would not have lost as many, but the offense down there was so bad. I really am hard pressed to see anybody coming in turning it around without the right weapons.
So when I watch Bryce Young, this is just very early comparisons, how I see it. He reminds me a lot of Alex Smith, to be honest. The way he is in the pocket, the way he throws the ball. He likes the mid game a lot more than the deep game, it seems. And it seemed like he had a rough start with a bad team, kind of like Alex Smith when he came in. But Alex Smith ended up being a really good quarterback. So Whereas CJ Stroud to me kind of is more like a Joe Burrow, kind of came in, launching the ball. He had receivers like Nico Collins. Nobody knew he was going to blow up the way that he did, but he had guys, obviously. One thing that's crazy about the Panthers right now is they spend the most money on their offensive line of any team in the NFL, and they were ranked so low. What is going on there? I was baffled by that when I saw that.
So I want to first of all congratulate Chicago for doing their homework on our team before they were so eager to give up the first pick, because whoever did their homework in advance, they knew that they were just borrowing that pick from Chicago, that they would pay it back with interest. And that's exactly what they did. Tepper seems to have the U.S. Mint in his backyard. He's got so much money to pay so much of everything, even though the league as a whole was supposed to be over the cap this year. He's making money. I joke around and say, I need to go suit up and take a couple of hits and then just retire just because he's got so much money, to pay people. But, we loaded up during the free agency, at least as best we could. We moved up to the first round and got Xavier Legette at pick number 32, and Panther fans went wild. To us, it was like, yay, we still got a first round pick. But even though it was number 32, it's the little things. The verdict is still out, to be honest with you, Nick, because they do have people to keep Bryce upright. I think they can, help the pocket, not collapse. Because let's be honest, the pocket basically was assisting in the collapse last year. Like, he didn't even have to drop back before it was. As soon as the ball was snapped, the pocket had folded like a lawn chair. I was like, oh my God. So now we got where he could drop back. Because let's be honest, I mentioned his physique earlier. He's not going to be able to just do passes without dropping back. He's only like 5'8". They said 5'10".
They say 5'10", but he's more like 5. That's like saying Allen Iverson. They used to say he's 6 foot. It's like, no, he's not. Come on.
He's right. I ordered a Bryce Young jersey. I promise you it looks, and I'm not that big. I promise you it looks like Bryce's actual jersey. It's like a medium. And it's a women's medium. And the point is, like, it literally looks like it could be freaking Bryce's. And that's no shade. It's just, I'm very authentic. Sometimes the truth hurts. And, if I had knew I was going to be on this show, I wouldn't have been wearing these Green Bay colors. Let me go ahead and put that out there for y'all.
That's right. You can join Green Bay anytime you want.
Closet Packer fan.
Let me just say this real quick. No. The Packers way is bomb.com. Let me tell you guys, all the way back to Brett Favre, the way you guys shaped and molded Aaron Rodgers and made sure he was ready to go when he needed to be ready to go is the same way that Jordan Love has been mentored and shaped. And kudos to you guys for stepping up in the playoffs and lassoing the Cowboys. Okay? You guys stepped up when it counted and got them on up out the playoffs so the rest of the United States could be in peace about them boys for the whole offseason.
Biggest frauds in the NFC last year. The Cowboys.
It's been said many times, when the Cowboys lose, America wins.
Yeah.
Yes. And I just noticed while I'm on here, that it is all Green Bay. So I guess I did pick the right sweater tonight.
It's the Frozen Tundra Network.
I love it.
Before I'm going to ask one last question, and I'll let everybody else ask whatever it is that they want to ask. Go ahead, A-Dub. Say what you're going to say real quick.
Yeah, I was going to get a question out, too, in regards to your Panthers. What would be the expectations now to say you would have a successful season now, considering everything you guys have done so far to this point? Like, where's the bar going to be for this season coming up for you guys?
Oh, my God. Let's just get some wins. That's all we care about. Keeping Bryce off the ground because he was running for his freaking life. And keeping the pocket. I mean, it's going to collapse. Let's be real. They're going to keep collapsing the pocket, but hopefully not as like every down, Hopefully he'll be able to drop back, get some passes out, and hopefully he'll be able to get a weapon in Xavier Legette. Jadeveon Clowney is down there. I know people are like, it's going to be a clown show with him, but sometimes players go to different organizations and they do better. We've seen you know, Christian McCaffrey was decent with us, but once we let him go to San Francisco, look where they are. Same with DJ Moore in Chicago. Sometimes it's about the franchise that you're with. So, you know, that would be the first thing is let's keep him healthy and let's get some wins. That's my first thought on that.
I'm going to go ahead and defend the Panthers real quick about this. You can't call that a fleecing yet because what if Caleb Williams is an absolute Justin Fields bust again? So
I think he's going to be too.
There is no fleecing yet.
He had
no clue.
In OTAs.
Yeah, I've watched. Remember when the Vikings had like 15 picks that one year and none of them started within their second year anymore? Like, so we don't know what's going to happen.
That was crazy.
Well, I mean, the only thing that Cole's got going for him is he got the first pick out of it. That's it. He didn't know he was going to get a first round pick.
But the first pick was Caleb Williams, who if he's a bust, then they didn't fleece anything.
Yeah.
And funny thing about that,
still be good for all we know.
Yeah, and funny thing about that, you want to talk about being fleeced. I say the Bears set themselves up to be fleeced twice by the Steelers. Like, you got less when it came to trading Justin Fields off to that franchise. One would have expected you shot a
6th round for next season, bro. Next year's 6th round.
But what about the Claypool trade? They gave up a 4th or a 3rd for that. I can't remember. And
no, it was a second.
Nothing.
They gave up a second for Claypool.
They gave up a second. Oh my god!
Yeah, they traded Fields. Hey, they traded Fields for a half-eaten bologna and a half-drinking Gatorade.
Worse than
I was about to say an old kid's meal.
Yeah. I like that you said that the way that Green Bay does things is bomb.com because I just went on bomb.com and I'm going to share with you guys what it shows on this website.
Oh,
there we go.
So you hit the nail on the head, which
are you serious?
It moves me into my next question. This will be my final question, and the rest of the panel can ask you whatever they want. What do you think of Jordan Love?
Oh, I love Jordan Love. Gotta love Jordan Love. I always have my heart crooked. I just love him. I wish the Panthers had him. I think he has the right combination of personality and professionalism that can get the job done. You know, sometimes you have elite quarterbacks that their egos are all the way up here, or they're so big that they can't really even lead because they're in their own world, their own orbit. But just Jordan Love is just such a phenomenal quarterback. He seems to be humble, but very skilled in doing what he needs to do best. He's an assassin when he needs to be. And so, I mean, I don't ever be anything negative about Love or anything. I mean, I love Jordan Love. And Yoli, my show that you were just on was the show for tonight at 7, but it will re-air at 2 a.m. On all the platforms, so you can check the recast out. But yeah, that's what I think. I mean, if they ever sell the Panthers, I'll be looking for another team. I live in Atlanta. Let's be clear. I've been living in Atlanta a very long time.
Oh, you don't want to be a Desmond Ritter or Kirk Cousins fan?
So I like Kirk Cousins when he was with the Vikings, only because they're purple, and purple's like one of my favorite colors. So that's kind of like a not good reason. But I've never been, now I will applaud Minnesota when they took out the Saints. When Stephon Diggs ran back for that touchdown. I mean, I literally remember rewinding my TV like, did that just happen? Yeah. So, everybody, I have moments for each team that I like each team. Yes, the Minnesota Miracle. But yeah, that's my thought on that. Like, I think you guys got a gold mine in Jordan Love. I think he really is an Aaron Rodgers of his own for you all. I feel like going forward, the NFC North is going to be ultra competitive. Everybody wants to talk about the Lions going back. Even Dan himself said it's going to be difficult to get back. And let's be clear, it is, because now you have offensive-minded Chicago, which is normally defensive-minded. They're trying to build their offense around Caleb Williams. And then we got you guys who have just come out of nowhere. People clearly have forgotten while Aaron was acclimating to the Jets and then getting subsequently hurt, that Jordan Love was quietly coming on the scene. And, they always say still waters run deep. Well, that was a pond because no one ever saw it coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think my favorite Minnesota moment was Bounty Gate. So, do you guys have any other?
Yeah.
You guys have
Top block.
anything else you want to ask the Pantherette over here?
Well,
Do you understand what Leggett says? That South accent is deep.
I do not. He needs like the caption on it, everything. I mean, I don't know where. I think he's from like the low country part of South Carolina. I'm from
Yeah.
North Carolina, but I was just like, whoa. I still don't know what he said. But all we care about is how he plays. At least he can read the
Yep.
plays and run the plays. We just, all we need him to say is win, and that's it. Just a win.
I remember it was a viral moment. The NFL channel and all the meme channels and everything was listening to him talk, and man, it was hard to keep up with him. But he seems like a humble, deep down dude. But
yeah,
just his understanding of his lingo, you know what I mean, and just the way he talks with that.
I mean, you
Southern
have to be
accent.
humble. You have to be humble when no one can communicate with you. You have to be and again, no one knew they were having one of the Muppet babies up there in front of the camera. So Xavier, how did you feel? You woke up a Panther. I said I woke up a Panther. I was like, is this Forrest Gump or what is happening here? But congratulations to him.
It reminds me of if you ever watched Waterboy. And the guy with the
Yes.
overall.
Yes. The guy that eats frog cakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of Southern accents, Ken, I think you had a question, right?
All right.
Terrible. That was awful.
Yeah.
I'm from California. I can't do it.
All right. Well, since the hot topic of it is Jordan Love's contract coming up, with you being an outside fan, would you feel comfortable giving Jordan Love around the $50 million range for a long-term deal?
I mean, I saw that he is at least showing up for the OTAs, which you got other people that are holding out, and I saw that his contract is definitely, up for negotiation as well. I would definitely pay him that money because let's be clear, everybody else is paying $140 million for people that have not even won a postseason game, aka Kirk Cousins, as well as you got Dak Prescott being paid ringless again. And so why not go ahead and give Jordan this? He at least has proven that he is a postseason contender. And so if you add in the time and an experience, Green Bay may be going for that ring again, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
I like how you complimented Kirk Cousins 2 minutes ago and then give him a rib shot.
I just keep it real.
You want to answer this real quick? I'm gonna say over, but I'm gonna say 6 to 7 wins because I do think Bryce Young will get better. I didn't see anything that suggests that he's just terrible in general. That's not what I saw from him. I just kind of saw, like you said, the pocket presence. You don't even know what it is at this point because the pocket breaks down within 0.1 seconds. So how could you know? I think they're doing everything they can to try to secure him. I think it will get a little better this year.
She said he's Doug Flutie size, bro. That's already.
I'm showing you guys the locker room right now. Okay, you see the locker room? We are definitely going to be getting above 500. I think we're going to get about 7 wins this year, if not 500, close to it. So, yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hopefully optimistic. Like you said, Bryce was not the problem. I mean, but let's be clear, guys. When quarterbacks come into the league, everybody's not a CJ Stroud when they come in. CJ got into the right situation, really, for real.
People
the right
around him
situation.
too. Talent around him helps.
Right, and everybody doesn't
to
have
mention-
that situation. So you got to think that quarterbacks generally have a time period of acclimation before they're just out there hitting the ground running and hitting all the marks that we want them to check off the boxes for.
Can I hit on this real quick? Let me hit on this real quick, guys. This and I agree with you, Lulu. But there's a lot of people saying, "Well, it's based on half of a season." It's not. It's not. If you go into it, he was great. He was one of the best in the entire, arguably the best for the second half of the league. The first 2 games, he threw 6 touchdowns and no interceptions. The third game, he came back down 17-0 in the fourth quarter, and he ran it in, threw a touchdown, made the plays that he needed to. We beat the Saints in the fourth quarter, 18-17. I would call that 3 good games, second half of the season, and the 2 playoff games. So it's well beyond just half a season for me. He has shown way more than half a season. That's
Yeah,
just my
everybody
Yeah,
saw
it was
over
a
the
mid-season
Cowboys
struggle
backward.
he dealt with.
mid-season struggle. It was a fast start with a huge lull and then an absolute explosion after
But
that.
I don't think we can't blame it all on him though.
Yes.
Some of that was on receivers. Some
The
of that
only
was.
game we took a beating was the Lions game in week 3, and the defense fucking let us down a bunch.
Yeah.
But you want to have a game that your team is better towards the end of the season. You want to have that lull. If you're going to have a lull, you want it halfway. You don't want it at the end, and you don't want it at the beginning.
I agree with
so,
you.
like the
then
Eagles, they were just crash and burn.
But to your bad teams at the beginning, and all of a sudden, when we figured it out, and Jordan Love, his deep ball wasn't hitting, his off the back foot passes weren't hitting. All of a sudden they were, and we beat teams like the Chiefs. You know what I mean? We smoked the Lions. I mean, we were just beating everybody up. So
We started out with
I
the
would
Chargers.
prefer, like you
the
just said,
Lions.
to have the lull in the beginning part and just explode in the second half, anyways.
Yep. The postseason is built off of the end of the season. Like postseason teams are the ones who are really blowing it out the water after like week 11.
Yeah.
You know what? This comment kind of reminds me that Green Bay plays the Texans this year, and I think that might be the most watched game of the season.
Yeah, it's not even a game of the week. Can you believe that? It's not even a game of the week.
They might
bro.
flex it though to a game of the week. They might do everything they can.
I was gonna say, I don't think you can flex that early in the season.
And the crazy thing is, we
one of
play
those 12 o'clock
we
games.
play Chicago as well, but we don't have any primetime games for the first time ever. They pretty much know what the Panthers look like. We have no primetime
that's
games.
why basement teams don't get those.
Panthers still got a hell of a running back, Jonathan Brooks. That guy's a beast.
Yes. Thank you for that, because I literally forgot to mention him. I was talking about him earlier on another show, but I think we just have to be patient as Panthers fans. And you guys have had the Packers for a very long time. Your organization is double the age of the Panthers, so you know what it's like to go through these lulls. I don't remember 2-15. I remember we had a 2-15 season back in 2008 or something, but I wasn't super into the game like I am now. And so it hurts now, because now I'm like all in, and I'm still kind of riding out the 2015 season. That's now almost 10 years ago.
But see now, but now you can say, "Hey, I've been through a two-win season, so nothing can really affect you." That's how you gotta wear it as a badge.
One thing you have over us, you beat us. You beat us.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys a question. What do you guys think about J. Pep getting into the Hall of Fame as a Panther and not as a Packer?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't surprise me.
Doesn't.
You know what? Like,
not
he was
surprising, especially when most of his career was played and he started out with the Panthers. So I'm not surprised at that.
And even though he was good for the Packers, he wasn't Hall of Fame great for the Packers. He was for the Panthers. He was for the Bears.
Yeah.
It was tailing off. He was a great player, I'll say, but he wasn't a Hall of Fame player for us.
He made
the numbers just were not there.
Yeah, that's what I gotta say. It's between the Panthers or the Bears is his career. You know what I mean? So, and I think he goes in as a Panther. You know what I mean?
He chose already. We looked it up on the morning show. He had his choice of which team, and he's already made his choice. He wants to go in as a Panther. So
it was like Charles Woodson. They didn't make him choose one team. He went in like as both kind of, but he did choose the Raiders overall. And I'm fine with that. I get it, man. The Raiders are your team. You're not a true full-blooded Packer, you know what I mean? You are one of our favorites and one of our best players we've ever had, but you are truly a Raider, and I'm okay with that,
Yeah, if you ask most fans in the NFL who Charles Woodson is, they'll say he's a Raider.
But if Aaron Rodgers went in as a Jet, I would be pissed.
I was just about to ask that. I was just about to ask you guys that. And not only that, let me ask anybody on here, since y'all are so nice to indulge me. Thank you. Aaron Rodgers, when he left from Green Bay to go to the Jets, were you guys surprised? Because I've heard mixed things. Like some fans were like, it's time for him to go. He spent his time. I mean, all the way back from when he got Mike McCarthy fired on his birthday, I was kind of like, wow, like, yeah.
But you got rid of him a year before, though. Tell you the truth.
I'm not.
Yeah, we kept him 1 year too long. We did.
That's what I keep hearing.
Prayed on his bedside every night for Rodgers to go. We had a whole season of every show, John Dorn was like, "Can Rodgers just go?" And we're like, "Oh, come
Yeah,
on."
John was like, John wanted him gone right away, bro.
Yeah, I want him gone.
We
Yeah.
even got into it, me and John.
He kept saying pound stand.
Well, he just had that tunnel
Well,
vision, man. He had that tunnel vision, man. It's like, dude.
well, I wasn't surprised about the trade at all, especially when it came to the patience wearing thin in terms of the drama that was being created at times behind the scenes with Rodgers, especially when Matt LaFleur came in. There was a great deal of conflict there. Like those two kept butting heads. Like Rodgers was a seasoned veteran coming in. Like you wasn't going to be able to coach and tell Rodgers what he can and cannot do with the offense that he was a part of. So, of course, it was coming to a point where either Rodgers was going to have to see his way out eventually.
Yeah, it was
I'll go ahead and
inevitable.
say,
Like, it was inevitable.
there was a few of us, like me and Isaac, we were definitely surprised. I thought truly 100% Rodgers had another year with us, and then we were just going to completely let him go. But I was shocked. I was, and I wanted Rodgers to come back too. I didn't care that he had a bad season because I know Aaron Rodgers can have a bad season and turn that around real quick. So
But just
I
think,
actually want
we could have had
start.
3 first rounds if we would have let him go a little earlier.
Yes,
man.
we
could
would have
had
got a
3
lot
first
more.
rounds.
John's right about that.
Man,
Yeah, but
come
with
on.
all Rodgers gave to us, he still deserved that last year.
Let me ask you guys this: Do you like the old Rodgers offense or the new Jordan Love offense?
I love the fucking Jordan Love offense.
I like this new offense way fucking
It
better,
reminds me of
man.
the old
I'm
Rodgers
sorry.
offense when the
He doesn't
ball
have to be there. He's got the OTs right
You know what I mean?
now.
I like the
It's a good question.
2011.
It's a good question. It's a good
I
question.
like the 2011 Rodgers offense better. We didn't have to run the ball. We didn't have great running backs back then, but we didn't need it because Rodgers was. We had 40 receivers we could throw the ball to.
I'm not saying pick Rodgers
I
best
love
year.
how
I'm
the
saying
ball
what we lost when he left.
But
That
see,
offense-
I've always liked the spread shotgun offense with 4 amazing receivers in a solid tight end. I love that. I love when we can pop back and shotgun and just surgically destroy a defense. So the 2011 offense that we ran, that's my personal favorite.
And then I love how multiple players get open.
Funny thing about that offense, we might
for
have
instance,
that again.
Jaden Reed. You know, that play wasn't supposed to go to Jaden Reed against the Cowboys where he got the ball in the midfield and he started running across in the slant. It wasn't supposed to go to him. It was supposed to go to Heath.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
Jaden Reed.
That was a lucky play.
Yeah, Love found him because LaFleur loves to get these guys open. And
Or
you
what
pick your
about when the
poison.
ball was supposed to go to the running back on the swing out, but instead he hit Christian Watson against the Eagles right down the middle, and he took it for a touch. I mean,
That's
he knows how
Love
to
growing
find
up
guys.
right in front of us, guys. That's him directing traffic. That's him seeing something else when those guys popped
One
open.
thing I think
mean,
what Rodgers actually told him is actually
that fucking
study
man.
the defense, and fucking he's big time in that fucking reading defenses and stuff. You can see him like during the Cowboys game. He's picking shit out before fucking the play. You know, you change the
You know what?
call and then bam, right down the middle.
That's why what Green Bay does, in my opinion, is very, very genius because he learned that clearly from Aaron Rodgers. We said it all year. Like my favorite thing I said all year about Jordan Love is before the snap. It's not during the play.
Yeah, it's
before the snap. Jordan Love's
doing
calling
that.
out where the blitz is. Yeah, he's calling out
Yep.
the mic. He's telling you that the safety's coming down.
Yeah.
He's navigating where his offensive line's going to block. He does it all the time.
Yeah.
And when they do those, what's it called? When we're bringing the motions that we do, the multiple motions to confuse the defense real quick. Dude, this is all put together
Guys,
in a
I'll
way
be right
that-
back.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, don't worry.
But this is all put together in a way for Jordan Love to succeed in ways that Aaron Rodgers succeeded early in his career, right? Because Rodgers was great at that. Peyton Manning was great at that. I love seeing that. So for me, Jordan Love's development really came before the snap, and then everything else fell in place after that. You know what I mean? But if we had Adams last, I'll go ahead, Adam.
Well, Jordan Love did mention what he learned mostly from Rodgers was consistency. Like that was the key in his game as far as being able to do things consistently in and out the pocket in terms of his passes, the plays he made. But I think the most important thing Jordan Love had to learn at best during the year was better decision making.
Yeah.
And I give all the credit to LaFleur for that. LaFleur, he grew as a coach. You know, remember when we were struggling the first several weeks and everything, we were questioning LaFleur.
Yep.
Yes, because of some of the play call. Absolutely.
We've
100%.
always questioned LaFleur's consistency.
Yeah.
How many times can you run the ball? You run the ball 25 times one game, and then the next game you run it 12. It's like, dude, what is going on here, man?
Yeah, he really changed his whole scheme. Even took over the defense, coached the defense.
I love that about him. I loved when he did that. You could see the change in the defense.
Absolutely.
I don't think Hafley will have to deal with that. I don't think he'll have to deal with that with Hafley, man.
No,
bro. I don't think they have to worry about all the guys showed up for camp. They're all the defense. They showed up. They are all wanting to be in this.
We got Xavier McKinney, baby. I can't wait.
Man.
Well, gentlemen, well, even as we got that, one's got to think how much time. One's got to think about this. How much time is it going to take for some of these guys to adjust to this new look defense? Like, we got some players who are more accustomed to a 3-4 more so than a 4-3.
Every time I question Green Bay how they're going to acclimate with what we do that's new, they surprise us. So I'm expecting something beautiful to happen. If I'm being honest, like we all sat there and was like, what's going to happen with all the new weapons? They're the youngest wide receiver core in the league. Jordan Love's brand new. What's going to happen? Well, I think it's going to be the same thing. They're just going to surprise us.
Well, I just have faith in it. I mean, bro, look at LaFleur took over with the defense when it was crapping out, and he proved we have talent on the defense. It just needs someone to bring it out, and we've added to that. So this defense, look, man, we're going to be top 10. Watch.
You know, that was actually, since we got a Panthers fan on here, that was actually kind of sad for the Panthers. They have a solid defense. They got great players on the defensive side. Man, their offense, it's hard to stop a team when you give the ball up at the 10-yard line all the time. You know what I mean?
Hey, one thing I'm telling you, I've been telling the group for a while, like over a year, picking up Marshawn Lloyd from USC, this run game for Green Bay is going to take off. I'm telling you, this guy's going to make plays all over the field. And he's already like looked at camp like, man, this guy's going to be a difference maker for us.
Yeah. This comment though, real quick, if we had Adams Super Bowl, I'm not sure that was going to be the changer that we needed, if I'm being honest. Here's what I'll say. If Darnell Savage intercepts that ball, we go to the Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl. I can't believe he dropped that pick. I don't, dude. My 10-year-old daughter
One week a hero, next week a zero. That's how it went.
And guess where Darnell Savage is? You know, he's on the Falcons now, so I guess
Jacksonville, I think.
That's why he went to Jacksonville. Who was it? Oh, it was Kevin King. Kevin King went to the Falcons.
Yeah. One thing about Green Bay, I mean, a lot of fans got to understand, we're not going older anymore. We're all going young. Like all the players that we're picking up or drafting.
Your average age is like 25, right?
East Lulu likes the vets, man.
We're not like the Detroit Lions that like to go get 34-year-olds for Band-Aids.
He wanted us to go get Odell too, man. He wanted us to go get Odell when Odell was out there.
That's why
I've had many conversations with him.
He's in Florida now.
I too am always going younger, so I'm a true Packers fan like that. I love the way that they're moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of Packer fans wanted Micah Hyde, and Micah Hyde's like 35. We're like, no, we're not taking.
He's 33.
He's like 35 years old.
He's 33. He's 34 now. He turned 34.
I'm sorry. I'm answering this comment. I'm saying I don't see. There is no chance I see Green Bay being able to fix Michael Thomas.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He is way
like
past.
I said before, Green Bay is going young. We're not picking up.
Yeah, but hey, East Lulu, here's the bro. Last year we had no vet, and we still put up 4,200 yards and 30 touchdowns, bro. We proved we don't need that vet, man. You don't.
Yeah, I was going to say if we didn't draft 3 safeties, maybe we look into Justin Simmons. But with these guys that we got, I'm more than happy with sticking with this roster.
Yeah. Bullard and McKinney are going to make difference.
Oh, yeah.
Safety.
Bullard into. I mean, look, we actually have a lot of guys that we could turn safety, nickel corner. There's so many things we could do with our roster right now, to be honest. What's up, David Gray? I haven't seen you since since Hubert did those push-ups, where you been, bro? I just
kangaroo
push-ups. Okay, so I want to get to one thing real quick that I really, really wanted to get to, because there was someone that's just a complete. We'll get to it, but let's start off with this person who was saying Laporta is force-fed in this offense, and if Jameson Williams isn't a bust and starts having production, Laporta will feed even more in the center of the field. To which I said, that doesn't really make any sense. Like the center of the field, maybe, but you're trying to say that Laporta is, first of all, force-fed, right? So you already have Sun God. So if Jameson Williams is not a bust and ends up getting production, that means that Laporta is going to get the ball thrown less to him, right?
Exactly.
So how is Laporta going to get more production if the ball is going more places? And second of all, Jared Goff threw the second most passes last year behind Howell in the entire NFL. If the Lions' running game is really, producing the way that it's going to be, if it's really projecting the way that they think it is, then wouldn't you run the ball a lot more, which means that you're going to pass the ball less than you did last year, in turn having less pass attempts to Laporta? And if you're passing the ball to Jameson Williams more, then there's less pass attempts to go. See what I'm saying? So how
about that Lions fan that said Jameson Williams is going to get 15 touches a game?
Oh my
It's a
God.
bogus comment.
What? So do you know what the most pass attempts, not even touches, pass attempts to a receiver is in the NFL? Is Justin Jefferson at 10.16 or something like that a game. And that's just attempts, not touches. Yeah. So Jameson Williams is going to get 15 touches a game, right?
You know what? Like, they're falling into that trap that Bears fans did with Justin Fields or Viking fans did with Irv Smith. You know what I mean? They keep on saying, this guy's going to be great. This guy's going to be great. Watch. A year goes by. This guy's going to be great. This guy's going to be great. Another year goes by. This guy's going to be great. It's just a never-ending cycle of making a player better than what he is.
Yeah.
Was
So
like
as
that corner, Jeff Okuda, they kept on saying he's going to be he's going to be with us.
I kind of want to know, as a Panthers fan, Sonia, what do you think of the Lions at this point? Before you say anything, though, I just want to say, be wary because they cry a lot if you say anything.
Don't hurt their feelings.
Oh, about the Lions?
Yeah.
So, us felines kind of stick together. I actually thought the Lions were going to go all the way. They don't have a ring. They haven't even been to the Super Bowl. Their biggest championship was some divisional in the 90s, 92, 93. They had like a championship in the 50s and the 40s before there was a Super Bowl. And I honestly felt like, Dan Campbell had that team where they needed to be. They had Sam Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and a whole offense around Jared Goff. And for the first time, I actually understood why they switched off with LA with the gunslinger. Because when it first happened, I was like, this makes no sense. Why are they switching with Sean McVay's Rams and switching quarterbacks? But now I saw it. I think that they were a solid contender, even, into the playoffs and for next season. And I really feel like they will be back. I feel like they're going to be the biggest competition for you all in the NFC North. Even though people are saying Chicago, I feel like they kept their nucleus intact. They didn't do any trades. Everybody is still there. And so the only thing they have to be weary of is the fact that everybody's going to be studying them in the offseason as to their style of play, so they'll know where to meet them at next season.
Yeah, Dorn's going to know.
Yeah,
Did you watch Thanksgiving game last year? Did you watch Thanksgiving game last year?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that was a good game, wasn't it?
Oh boy!
Here we go, our segment.
Of course.
Go ahead, Dorn.
And I tell you what,
that roster's put together with duct tape.
Well,
so when I go on the Lions Wikipedia page, it also there's another picture here. It's funny. It says this is the Lions' daddy.
Oh, wow.
That must be where they got it from. Was
Bro,
bomb.com.
Owner of the Bears too, man. Come on, bro.
So you
Rodgers
mentioned
signed the paper.
Yeah, you just mentioned Nick, Justin Jefferson and his touches. Going back with them beating the Vikings. I know the Vikings are not really 1,000% with their quarterback situation right now. But are you guys kind of weary of Jefferson, when you guys go up against them in the matchups?
No, Alexander's got him right in his back pocket.
That's
He's
right.
going to be doing it pretty on him again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with our new DC, man, Jair's going to probably follow him. He's going to probably follow him. He's
that's what I'm begging and praying for. Alexander Travel.
Man, he made him cry last time.
And if we're thinking about Minnesota, we already know the biggest question mark on them is going to be their QB situation.
Right.
Are you that trusting of Sam Darnold to carry you for a full season, or are you desperate to get J.J. McCarthy started up right away?
Let me tell you, Sam Darnold at this point is a journeyman. He started out with the Jets. He's been down in Carolina, spent some time out in the West. I forget which team he went with out there. And now he's with the Vikings. And the thing about J.J. McCarthy, I feel like he wasn't even supposed to be picked this early. He got bumped up by Jim Harbaugh, making sure he got picked up. So if he's going to come in, he can't come in playing like he did for Michigan. This is the big boys league. And so he's going to have somebody, at least at a minimum, to, kind of do, like I said, the Green Bay way. I don't think Sam Darnold is that one to pattern it after. I'm just not sold on that.
Well, you mean he shouldn't pick up Sam Darnold's skills of turning the ball over?
Exactly. That's my point exactly. He needs a better quarterback situation to mirror, because Sam Darnold is not a mentor type quarterback.
And even if he doesn't, if they don't find someone better, just don't let him be killed.
I'm sure most Viking fans are wishing they kept Kirk Cousins for that purpose.
Exactly.
Of mentoring him.
Exactly.
When I saw, and I'm not joking, this is for real. If you go look up J.J. McCarthy's highlights, you'll see some videos where all he's doing is going, "Here, Blake Corum, there you go, touchdown." I'm not even joking. If you look that up on YouTube, there are full highlights of him just handing the ball.
Bro, I watched his practice. He missed a guy just throwing a ball to the guy, playing catch. He missed the guy by 6 feet.
His accuracy on his card was one of the biggest red flags on his entire combine.
Bro, it's a clear problem. It's clearly a problem.
Yeah. And like in OTAs, he's struggling. He's struggling. I know OTAs ain't the biggest measuring stick. That's when you want to make mistakes as a quarterback. You know what I mean? But
it's also against air.
You want to improve and grab your
against
spot.
Air, yeah.
Right?
It's against air.
You want to solidify your spot, because they already have a veteran quarterback that has your position right now, Sam Darnold. You want to beat that person and take your spot. And if you're struggling, then it's going to take a long time for you to get that spot.
Something I saw Vikings fans bragging about was the velocity he has on his ball. And people were saying, but what about the touch? Like, dude, Justin Fields has all the zip on the ball. Jamarcus Russell has all the zip and velocity on a football. Michael Vick had all the velocity on a football, right? All the zip you could have. What about the touch? If you don't got that touch, man, I mean, Jordan Love, let's be honest, he doesn't have a crazy zip on his pass. He doesn't throw it like Brett Favre or nothing like that. But the touch that he has, that back foot pass that he had, like, it gets him out of trouble a lot of times.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the way he throws that deep ball, it isn't the usual rainbow that we've seen from most quarterbacks. That ball flies up like this and just drops where he wants it. It's so weird. I've never seen a quarterback do it like that. But
when he dropped in the Dobbs falling backwards, bro, that was like incredible. He was surrounded by guys, dropped it right in there.
Yep. So we're getting to the end of the show. I'll give it one more minute. If you guys want to say anything real quick before I cut you all off and boot you out, go ahead.
The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. Same old Lions, Booze Gold Lions. The Vikings, they just fucking suck ass.
And go watch Sonia's show. I'll go watch it. I'll go watch it when you get your next show.
Go support Sonia, yo.
Thank you guys for having me on. Yes, it's at Prim and Proper Sports on YouTube. Just spell it out, Premise with one M, like you see my little @ sign there. Mm-hmm. And of course, all things football from a lady's perspective on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram as well. But it's been real fun. I'll come on anytime you guys want to have me.
Yeah, come on in.
Good.
And I've already shared this live to my audience as well. So
perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Yoli. I see her on there too. Yeah, Yoli supports me. She's super sweet. She's been coming
Yoli
on.
supports all of us. She's a good
super cool. Thank you,
Great
Yoli.
fan,
Have a
great
great
fan.
weekend.
Thank you, everybody that watched. Thank you, everybody that was on. Say your last sentiment. I'm going to go ahead and say the Lions are full of shit.
Gary's getting a 20-sack season.
20 sack season. You heard it here first.
Dude in the
The
fucking
bearded
division,
Packer fan
baby.
said it.
Panthers are going to be above 500.
There you go.
David Gray, if he's still listening, he's going to hate me for this. Christian Watson breakout season, baby.
Breakout, baby. Breakout.
And Isaac's not allowed on the show anymore. Boom!
And Nate's going to show his titties.
Gee, boss.
What's wrong with you? All right, everybody.